ये सुनाई नहीं देता क्या इसमें? एक मिनट देखते हैं। हेलो 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 नेहा ये कौन है किससे? हाँ तो बंद करो ना डोर बंद कर दो। हेलो
Hello, hello.
या इज इट थर्ड सेकंड थर्ड फर्स्ट
Just a second, ma'am.
third second? Okay, if anyone is there from third one, just leave. Okay, the next class will be conducted for them. Okay, in the last class, I thought about the base, how it appears. It is slightly has a base tint. It's basically suppose the emulsion and the crystals that are painted onto that. Okay, 0.18 mm thickness, made of polyester polyethylene terephthalate, and it will the base should be as strong enough to withstand exposure to processing solutions, and it should be flexible. Okay, and coming to intraoral X-ray films, the X-ray films, as we know, it's a double emulsion film. Double emulsion film means this emulsion and the crystals are painted onto both the sides of the film base. Okay, as you can see in this image, this is the base here, one coating, and downside one coating will be there. That is double emulsion film. With double layer of emulsion, less radiation can be used to produce an image. One corner of the each film, if you might have seen, one corner of the each film has a small raised dot that is used for orientation. It has to be towards the tube side, and it has to be at the occlusal aspect of the tooth. So with this orientation, we can help in differentiating whether this is of the right side or the left side. Okay? Film packets contain either one or two sheets of film. उस पैकेट में एक या दो फिल्म्स रहते हैं. Usually in US, two films are there. The other one is sent for the insurance company to claim insurance. Okay. Second film serves as a duplicate record. Film is encased with black paper and then in a outer white paper or plastic wrapping. So here you can see this film. Okay, it has got a small embossed dot. Okay, so this part of the film, what is there, this part, that will be on the occlusal aspect of the teeth. And this side, the white part where the embossed dot is there, this will be towards the tube side. And inside you can see, this is the, you have the black wrapper covering. It comes from here and then it will come the other side, and it has a folding here, the flap. Okay, inside that, can you see the silver shiny surface? This is the lead foil present. And inside the lead foil, you have the film. Here you can see the black, this is the white plastic covering. You have the black paper. Then this one which is folded is the lead foil. And this, this is the film here. Okay, here you can see the lead foil. Between the wrappers in packet is a thin lead foil packing with an embossed pattern. This embossed pattern is seen on the lead. Okay, foil is behind the film, away from the tube. It is not towards the tube, it is away. First the plastic covering, then the black paper wrapping. Okay, then you have the film, then you have the lead foil, then you have the black wrapping again, and then the plastic covering. The black foil serves as a shield from the backscatter radiation. It also reduces the patient exposure by absorbing some residual X-ray beam. Periapical view. Periapical view, these small films, they can record only the crown aspect of the tooth, the root aspect, and the surrounding bone. Three sizes are available. 0 is for small children, 1 for relatively narrow to view the angularity, 2 is a standard film. What we use in the department is the 2, and in perio department they use the 0, 1. 0 is for small children, that is 22 to 35 dimension mm. 1 is relatively narrow, only for the anterior teeth. The dimension is 24 into 40 mm. 2 is a standard, that is 31 into 41 mm. Here you can see the occlusion film, the size 0, size 1 and size 2. Bite wing films. Now moving on to the next one, that is the bite wing view. So the same IOPA is used. You take a paper, you fold it like this, prepare a tab like, and then a bite. On this bite, the patient will bite so that the film will be in place. So what will happen when this comes on the occlusal aspect? This upper half will cover the maxillary teeth and the lower half will cover the mandibular teeth. The maxillary teeth will cover the crown and two-thirds of the root. In the similar way, the mandible one covers crown and two-thirds of the root. By twin view, I used to record the coronal portions of maxillary and mandibular teeth in one image, and these are useful for detecting the interproximal caries. To evaluate the height of the alveolar bone, and films often have a paper tab projecting to support the film. You can use this paper tab, otherwise you can use the holders here. These are the holders, okay. This is a bite wing holder where you place the film here. You can see it is in between, okay. You put in between these two slots and the back one, that the back one is the support one. In between this one and this one slot, you put the film here and place it in the patient's mouth, and the patient bites here. This is the occlusal bite tab, okay. This is the bite tab, and then this will come at the corner of the mouth, this will come outside the mouth, and this is the aiming point which comes on the cheek region, and your central ray should go through this point, this pointed one, okay. Through this, if it goes, it means this shows the orientation of the central ray. It will be easy to place the X-ray tube. And these are the other film holders where you place the film here and you shoot for IOPA, and this is for bite wing where you can cover both. This is again for the occlusal aspect, okay. This is for the anteriors, it's vertical, and this is also straight, okay. This is for the bite wing. This is for the posteriors, molars, IOPA, okay. So this comes at the angle of the mouth, and this shows how the extractive has to be oriented. This is a bite wing view where you can see the crown and two-thirds of the root, the alveolar bone height. The first main thing to see in bite wing is that there are no proximal overlapping of the teeth. एक दूसरे के ऊपर वो overlap नहीं हो रहे. Okay, so you have proper contacts seen in this. This makes us very easy to identify if any proximal caries are there here, and to also evaluate the alveolar bone height. If there is overlapping, what happens? You can't see caries. Even though if you find, you'll be confused in which tooth it is there. Okay. Occlusal film. Occlusal film is 3 times larger than size 2 film I showed just now. That is 57 into 76 mm. It is used to show larger areas of the maxilla and mandible. They obtain right angle views to use usual periapical view. Periapical view हम usually ऐसे लेते हैं, but occlusal view हम ऐसे लेते हैं. So they are at right angle to each other. They obtain right angle views to usual periapical film. Patient bite lightly on the film. जोर से bite किया ना, tooth के marks आ जाएंगे उसमें. Lightly onto the film to support it between occlusal surfaces of the teeth. This is how. IOP हम ऐसे लेते हैं, okay. Occlusal हम ऐसे लेते हैं. So they are both at right angle. यहाँ पे. Why this patient is raised the head and this patient is not? Because अगर आप कोई भी लो, maxilla लो या mandible लो, the arch should be parallel to the floor. Okay, so they are making mandible parallel to the floor. So this is a view of occlusal films. This is of the mandible. This is of the maxilla. इसमें again categories है occlusal में. You have topographic view and cross sectional view. Cross sectional मतलब पूरा arch दिखता है. From 7 to 7, all the teeth are seen. Whereas in topographic, you will see one portion of the jaw. जैसे कि आपको upper anterior लेना है, या upper left posterior लेना है, right posterior लेना है. Okay, ऐसा है. For example, I can give a globe this one like cross sectional is the entire Maharashtra and topographic is Latur. ठीक है? This is a good example I think. Coming to screen films, just a minute. Yeah, coming to screen films. What are screen films? We used to use in OPG when we had the films. Nowadays digital OPGs are there. Screen film, it is used with intensifying screens to reduce patient exposure. Screen films are nothing but the films that are used for OPG. In cassette, we upload the screen films. Okay, and these screen films are not sensitive to radiation, X-ray radiation. They are sensitive to lights. And this light is given by intensifying screen. The intensifying screen is sensitive to X-ray radiation. I'll tell you that later. Yeah, in this picture you can see दिस इज द कैसेट, ओपीजी कैसेट, ओके। जब इसको खोलोगे तो ऐसा है ये, ओके। इसको खोलने के बाद ये ऐसा है। दिस इज योर स्क्रीन फिल्म, जैसे आईओपी फिल्म है अंदर, पैकेट के अंदर ये स्क्रीन फिल्म है। और ये जो व्हाइट कलर दिखते हैं ना कोटिंग, दोज आर इंटेंसिफाइंग स्क्रीन्स। इंटेंसिफाइंग स्क्रीन्स आर देयर इन द कैसेट attached, okay। You only change the film. This film जो है, this is sensitive to visible light, not to the x-rays. तो एक्सरे किसी क्यों एक्सरे लेते हैं, दिस इज द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, राइट। बिकॉज एक्सरे जब आके इस कैसेट को स्ट्राइक करते हैं, तो ये जो इंटेंसिफाइंग स्क्रीन है ना, this is sensitive to x-ray radiation and this gives out visible light and the visible light will cast shadow on this. समझ गए? हेलो, एनीवन हियर? हेलो,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
समझ में आया?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know how much people are understanding. Screen film. Screen film, it is used with intensifying screens to reduce the patient exposure. It is designed to be sensitive to visible light. Screen film, that is a film used for OPG and lateral cell. It is designed to be sensitive to visible light because it is placed between two intensifying screens when an exposure is made. The intensifying screens absorb the X-rays and they emit the visible light. This visible light then exposes the screen film present in the cassette. The silver halide crystals are inherently sensitive to, यहाँ पर भी आपको silver halide crystals ही है, they inherently sensitive to UV and blue light and thus are sensitive to screens that emit UV and blue light. जो silver halide crystals है तुम्हारी screen film में, they are sensitive to UV light and blue light. तो तुमको इंटेंसिफाइंग स्क्रीन्स कैसे लेने हैं, जो स्क्रीन्स यूवी लाइट और ब्लू लाइट ही एमिट करें, ऐसा वाला चाहिए, ओके। When the screen film used his emit green light, silver halide crystals are coated with sensitizing dyes to increase the absorption. अगर कोई और कलर एमिट कर रहा है तो उनको सेंसिटाइजिंग डाइज लगाते हैं, so that they increase the absorption. Okay, now coming to the intensifying screens. Intensifying screens जो है उसमें क्या क्या है, they have phosphors incorporated into intensifying screens for use with the screen film. These phosphors fluoros when exposed to X-ray beam. This fluorescence is nothing but visible light. Some of the effects of X-rays and visible light emitted by the screen phosphor exposes the film in an intensifying cassette. The functions of this is presence of intensifying screens creates an image receptor system that is 10 to 60 times more sensitive to X-rays than the film alone. Use of intensifying screens means there is a substantial reduction in the dose of X-rays to which the patient is reduced. Resolving power is related to the speed. Slower the speed of the film, greater is the resolving power. Coming to composition of the film, okay, screen film. You have again a base, then on that you have a phosphor layer, then you have a protective polymeric coat. Here you can see the film coat, phosphor, and then you have the base, okay. Intensifying screens are used in pairs, as I showed in this image. They are used in pairs, one on each side of the film and a position inside the cassette. Purpose of cassette is to hold each intensifying screen in close contact with X-ray film to maximize the sharpness and to minimize the mobility of the film. Most cassettes are rigid, but they may also be flexible. Okay. यहाँ से आपका visible light आ रहा है. It is striking a phosphor and casting a shadow. Coming to the base. The base material is some form of polyester plastic and is about 0.25 mm thick. It provides mechanical support for the layers. In some, the intensifying screens base are also reflective. The intensifying screens जो है, even उसकी base जो है, even they are reflective and it reflects light that is emitted from phosphor layer back toward the X-ray film. वापस reflect करते हैं. So, because of this, some sharpness results. Why? Because the divergence of the light are reflected back to the film. Some fine detail interfering screens omit this reflecting layer to improve image sharpness. In some cases, not reflective, and a separate coating of titanium dioxide is applied to base material to serve as a reflecting layer. अगर base reflective नहीं है तो titanium dioxide is applied to base material to serve as a reflective layer. Coming to phosphor layer. In the phosphor layer, you have phosphorescent crystals which are suspended in polymer binder. When the crystals absorb the X-ray photons, they fluoresce. We are talking of intensifying screens phosphor, okay? The phosphor crystals often, what does this phosphor crystals contain? They contain the rare earth elements commonly known as lanthanum and gadolinium. And when these fluoresce, the fluorescence can be increased by the addition of elements such as thulium, niobium and terbium. जैसे कि सिल्वर हलाइड में सिल्वर हलाइड ग्रेन्स है, ओके, सिल्वर आयोडाइड है, उसमें हम सल्फर ऐड करते हैं, गोल्ड ऐड करते हैं, ओके, टू इंक्रीज द शार्पनेस. यहाँ पे फ्लोरोसेंस इंक्रीज करने के लिए वी ऐड thulium, niobium and terbium. A pair of rare earth intensifying screens absorbs about 60% of photons that reach the cassette after passing through a fission. These phosphors are about 18% efficient in converting X-ray energy to visible light. The only 18% they are efficient. Okay. बाकी 88 गया. Rare earth screens convert each absorbed X-ray photon into about 4,000 low energy visible light photons. These visible photons then exposes the film. Next, coming on to the speed and resolution of screen, that depends on the phosphor type, कौन सा type है, and the phosphor conversion efficiency, that is X-ray to visible light conversion. Thickness of phosphor layer कितना है और उसका coating weight कितना है, titanium dioxide. Presence of a reflecting layer if the base is not reflective. Presence of light absorbing dye. In phosphor bind the protective coating and the phosphor grain size, जैसे कि हमने सिल्वर हाइलाइट क्रिस्टल्स में ग्रेन साइज देखा, ग्लोबुलर है, elongated है. Fast screens have large phosphor crystals and efficiently convert X-ray photons to visible light.